Today is January 28th, 2021, and we are here with our first update for the OCHM Gardens project that we'll be launching this spring here at the museum. And so what we are doing today, which may seem pretty early for a gardening project here in New England, is we are actually going to be cold stratifying some of the seeds that we have planned for the garden. And what cold stratifying means is tricking these seeds to think that they're going through the whole winter process. We ordered them online and they just arrived. And so, of course, they're not going to be sitting outside going through the whole cycle of the seasons. And so we're going to trick them a little bit into thinking that it's winter. And ultimately, they're going to end up here in the freezer. And what that does is when we take them out in a few weeks, the seeds, by warming up, will start to activate their growing process. And this is our first basic step to get that going. So you can do this at home, and you don't need to do it for every seed. But here we have lavender, and we have a plant called St. John's wort. And so these are just two types of seeds that require this process to grow. And the only other things you're going to need is about 1/4 cup of sand for each seed packet you're going to do this for, and a little bit of water. And so our first step here, because we're doing 2 of these, is to take half of our sand and pour it into each bowl. Now we've refilled and we have some water, and Bronson's going to pour just enough water into each container of sand so that the mixture can be formed in your hands, like into a ball, almost as if it was you're making a snowball, you were playing with Play-Doh. So that's a pretty good amount. Once it can hold a shape, it's good to go. So once you have your mixture ready, you're going to snip the top of the packet. And for lavender, all lavender seeds to germinate require this process, so we're going to pour the whole packet into the mixture. Everything in there is now out of the packet and into the mixture. We're going to save the packet because it has some helpful information, and we're going to mix the seeds into the sand mixture into one big clump. After you do this step, you're going to put the entire mixture that you've created into your Ziploc bag. Make sure you date it, and then that goes right into the freezer. Lavender is a little bit tricky. So lavender wants to sit in the freezer for about 5 weeks. And we'll definitely check back in after 5 weeks. But you want to make sure you do this early enough so you have enough time for this entire process before the spring growing season starts. So we're going to get this ready to go into the freezer. Once you've mixed your mixtures all together, just put them in the labeled bags and then into the freezer they go. We've taped the lavender seed packet to ours because we don't want to lose it and because that one's empty. But for the St. John's wort, we actually only did half of our seeds because we're going to be doing a little experiment to test the cold stratification for those. So we still resealed our seed packet and we're going to store that for a few more weeks. But these guys are going to be in here for the next 5 weeks until we see them again.